from Denver Mile High Stadium, it's the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. Brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, phone your nearest BMW dealer. And by McDonald's. It's a good time for the great taste.
It's a day for snowmen in the Mile High City as the Cincinnati Bengals, a co-leader at the outset of this day in the AFC Central Division, with Cleveland come to Denver's Mile High Stadium, where playing conditions are excellent, at least to start the game, despite upwards of 7 inches of snow. The pressure's on the Broncos, put on by the Raiders, who are going against the Eagles this afternoon. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy here at sold-out Mile High Stadium as the Broncos are ready to kick the ball off. Tim McGee and Stanford Jennings are back deep for Cincinnati. This is Tim McGee, the rookie from Tennessee, who will down the ball, and the Bengals will go on offense first and 10 at their 20.
Don, even with the snow all over the Denver area today, you couldn't have picked a better place to play. This is a prescription athletic turf well taken care of by Steve Whiteman and his crew. As you look at the offense of the Bengals, they got the tarp off about 2.5 hours ago. This is as good a surface as you'll find in the NFL on a day like this.
It is remarkable the playing conditions are this good. They've had it covered. Upwards of 7 inches of snow fell today in Denver, more expected. Here's Esiason on first down. Jackson puts pressure on him as Esiason gets it away, and catching the ball is the great James Brooks as he turns across midfield and gets out of bounds at the 44-yard line. So a broken play resulting in a 36-yard gain for the Bengals.
And that's one of the things that both coaches like about their quarterbacks. For Denver, Dan Reeves likes the ability of John Elway to make the big play, as we watch Ricky Hundley with pressure, and Esiason for Cincinnati starts the game with a big play. Both are creators at the quarterback position. When something's not there, they try to get it done.
Esiason was the number 2 rated passer in the NFL last season behind O'Brien of the Jets. This season he's down a little bit, but still very effective. Bengals feel it's critically important to get on the board first, try to take some of the crowd out, and nearly an interception as coming out of off the tight end position was Rodney Holman and Dennis Smith. And Steve Foley converging on the ball. Foley almost intercepted. Rulon Jones leads the AFC in sacks, rushing from the left end. A young defensive line. Mecklenburg, an all-pro player at inside linebacker. And Jackson, the oldest linebacker in the NFL in his 13th year. Wright, a 5-time all-pro at the left corner, and Mike Harden, the right corner for the Broncos, has scored 3 touchdowns this year. Running back interceptions and a fumble. Right now, pitch back goes to Bill Johnson, and he crashes into Dennis Smith.
Fumble.
Free ball. It goes out of bounds, and it was last in possession of Bill Johnson, who right now is in Never Never Land.
He is unconscious on the field. The hit by Dennis Smith. Absolutely out cold.
So a break in the action. Bengals keep the ball when we come back to Mile High.
Call it character. Even nobility, if you like. It should be known as the best of its kind. And most of all, a light beer should be as great as its namesake. That's why there's Bud Light. The light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just a light.
How much longer till we get there?
About 20 minutes. Anti-lock brakes, internationally patented suspension, uncanny control. Conventional luxury sedans are built to survive accidents. The BMW 528e is built to avoid them.
Let's see if they're okay.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
You're home. You won't believe how much I save by shopping at Radio Shack's Christmas electronics sale. I got those beautiful stereo speakers for Kathy, half price. Your mother will love this convenient cordless phone. Billy can fight alien ships with this Astro Command electronic game. And for us, I even save 40% on this dual-powered calculator. Now we can balance the checkbook.
The Christmas electronic sale, only at Radio Shack.
From behind the defense, this Denver group under Joe Collier, a great pursuit defense. Watch the hit. Dennis Smith, helmet on helmet with Bill Johnson. He's out before he hits the ground. The ball squirts away, and the new rule in the NFL, it is spotted at the spot where Bill Johnson fumbled it.
Correct. Johnson was a great running back in the Now Defunct U.S. Football League. Had over 1,200 yards one season running for the Denver Gold at this stadium. Johnson goes to the sideline now. The Bengals with the ball at the 42-yard line of Denver.
Stanley Wilson is in the lineup to replace Bill Johnson.
Larry Kennebrew, through the first part of the season, was the starting fullback for the Bengals, biggest fullback in football at 270 pounds, but coughed it up 3 times against Seattle, so he's on the bench.
They got to hurry. They only got 6 seconds left on the 30-second clock, Don.
Down to 2. They get the snap off, and Esiason takes a deep look as a man open and diving for the ball at the 31-yard line is Steve Kreider, who goes out of bounds with a reception, and it's a first down for Cincinnati. Kreider hasn't caught many this year. Veteran from Lehigh. That's only his 4th reception. He'd been injured earlier. Sam Weich, now in his 3rd year as head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Both these coaches, Dan Reeves and Sam Weich, will go to the bag of tricks. You could see some unusual plays before this one's over.
As standard operating procedure, they use a bag of tricks.
And they both make them work. They're probably the 2 best teams at the NFL going to gadgets. James Brooks, head down. He was slowed up by outside linebacker Jim Ryan, and Carl Mecklenburg finished him off. The gain down to the 30-yard line. Really no gain. And so now with 13:40 to play, it'll be 2nd down and long.
And this will be an interesting matchup all day long. The Bengals are the best rushing team in the AFC. The Denver Broncos rushing defense 2nd best in the AFC. Anthony Munoz trying to pull up through there, but little or no gain for the Bengals. 2nd and 10.
Eddie Brown, deep speed to the near flank. He's running a short pattern. Here's the ball thrown down to Tim McGee. Another fine defensive play by Dennis Smith. A strong safety from Southern California came up and topped him as the ball arrived. It was a perfect throw, and the receiver was open, but Smith recovered.
And the more you watch this kid, Dennis Smith, out of USC, the more you realize what a spectacular athlete he is. Just outstanding. You see the size of the Bengals offensive line. The Denver Broncos, weight-wise, the smallest team in the NFL.
And the defensive front of the Broncos is not big. Bengals go with blue chip Clydesdales up front. Huge, and they're all good. On the run, the throw is to Eddie Brown, who turns upfield. He rule him out. They're going to rule it incomplete. One official does. Another stops the ball at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, he didn't get the first down,
no, but he got the catch. It goes.
9 yards. First time we see slipperiness on the field. Brown in motion. Offense rolls that way. No one went with Eddie Brown. He took himself out. That's his foot right there slipped. Good spot by the officials.
Now Jim Breach comes out, a troubled place kicker. He's been a very good one, has had some back problems. Has hit only 50% of his field goal tries this year, just over that. This will be a 39-yard attempt. 14 to 27 field goals. Throughout his career prior to this year, he's hit 70%. Kreider's the holder, looking for the first points of the game of the Bengals. Jim Breach fails to deliver again, so Cincinnati gets the ball downfield but gets no points. And with 13:07 left to play, a timeout, and Denver gets the ball when we come back.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring except Fievel the mouse.
Presenting Fievel, the adorable star of Steven Spielberg's presentation of the Don Bluth film An American Tale. Now collect all 4 different McDonald's stocking ornaments featuring Fievel. Each one comes free when you buy the perfect stocking stuffer. A $5 book of McDonald's gift certificates.
This holiday season, give a terrific surprise. Free Fievel stockings with our gift certificates inside.
AT&T is in consumer marketing. Burger King serves over 4 million people every day. And every night, They use AT&T Watts to collect clear, accurate data from their restaurants all over the country. So they always know what's selling. Is Burger King keeping their customers happy? With AT&T Watts, the data is very clear. Talk with us. AT&T, the right choice.
The BMW 735i is one of those rare luxury sedans engineered by driving enthusiasts. While other luxury sedans announce to the world you've arrived, the new BMW 735i offers you the considerable advantage of arriving a bit sooner. For a test drive, contact your local BMW dealer.
L.A. Law's moving to Thursday with a new brand of justice.
I got no problem with that.
I'll see you in court.
L.A. Law, following Night Court starting this Thursday.
Back at Mile High Stadium, Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy as the Broncos have the ball for the first time. John Elway at quarterback. Excellent throwing on the run, as is his counterpart Esiason. Back to a near side screen, and here comes Wilhite. He's across the 25. Free ball, it'll be Denver's. And a penalty marker comes in from the back judge well after the play is over, Trump.
And that looked like a clip. I think Reggie Williams got clipped on that screen. This is an excellent screening team, the Denver Broncos. And on a day with inclement weather, that flag's going to be against Cincinnati.
With Watson signaling.
Just as Wilhite caught that ball, it looked like somebody clipped him from behind.
Grabbing your face mask. Number 58, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Joe Kelly, a rookie linebacker from Washington. There are some finals in. Redskins had a tough time, but they go to 11-2 with a victory over the St. Louis Cardinals today. Buffalo holding to a 3-point lead over the Chiefs at Kansas City. Houston playing the Browns tough. They've gone to overtime at Cleveland Stadium. San Diego has sent Indianapolis down to a 13th consecutive loss. And Denny Testaverde says he'll play wherever he's drafted, and he'll be drafted by the Colts. Handoff, straight ahead run, and the Broncos get some good blocking from the right side. Paul Howard and Ken Lanier as Gene Lang takes it out to the 38-yard line. On a first down carry, he got about 5. John Elway, the young firearm quarterback, the whole offense revolves around him. They don't get a whole lot from their running backs. Wilhite's having a good year, running the ball some, catching it a lot, returning kicks. Offensive line, not big, but a very cohesive, well-trained group. They play excellent football together. Don't give up a lot of sacks. It is now second down and a long 4 as they go back to the run. And this time the Bengals, who've been an improving team, Trumpy, in the recent weeks, are showing it here a little bit against the run.
Last week they gave up an awful lot of yards in the first half, of Minnesota allowed the Vikings just 48 yards total offense in the second half. Stay primarily with that 3-man front.
Good young linebackers. Carl Zanders having a big year. Reggie Williams, the one veteran. Billups, a rookie at cornerback, is the best one-on-one cover in the Cincinnati secondary. Fulcher's a 230-pound strong safety. He lays him out like a linebacker. Big hitter. Let's see what the Broncos go now to on 3rd and short. Wilhite. First down and some more. Fat block up the middle, and Wilhite straight at the Cincinnati defense is out to the 48-yard line.
Don, this is a team under Dan Reeves, the Denver Broncos. They try to isolate players. You can see Billy Bryan, the center, handling Tim Crumry. Also a good lead block by Gene Lang up through the middle there. And Wilhite has an easy pickup for a first down.
Broncos offense has been having problems in the recent weeks. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games after winning 6 in a row out of the gate and 7 of their first 8. Broncos trying to control the ball on the run now. First down carry is good for just 2 yards to midfield. Sammy Winder, the leading rusher, has averaged just 30 yards in the last 3 games running the ball.
Broncos started out the game with that screen pass. This is one of the best screening teams you'll find in the NFL. Elway is good at selling it, and they try to get the ball in the hands of great athletes like Winder and Wilhite. Break a tackle, turn a little gain into a big gain.
Pam White and the Bengal coaches were looking for a lot of screens, but Elway's going to go deep now. Downfield, he's looking at Mark Jackson, a rookie from Purdue, who caught a lot of balls from Jim Everett, now of the Rams. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 7.
This defensive line of the Bengals going to have to put pressure on Elway. He moves probably better than any quarterback in the game today. Does not have to set up to throw it. Sometimes it gets him in trouble, though. John, for his career, has thrown 60 career touchdowns, 61 career interceptions.
But he's been the best quarterback in the NFL from a winning standpoint over the past 2 seasons. And since he took over 3 years ago, he's 34-12 as a starting quarterback, 74% wins. Elway with a quick strike up the middle. 1st down, Denver. They get it down to the 39-yard line. Reggie Williams comes up and makes the pop on Orson Mobley, rookie tight end, and so the Broncos drive on.
He's an easy target to find, too, at about 6'5", 255. Reeves runs the H-back offense. That is generally a tight end in motion, so his tight ends are a little bigger than the average run-of-the-mill tight end. They must block first, receive second.
Clarence Kay now in the game at tight end, set to the left. 1st down and 10 for Denver. There's no score in the 1st quarter on a cold, snowy day in the Mile High City. Back to the trap blocking, and the good run by Wilhite takes it all inside the Cincinnati 35-yard line, where Crumry and Fulcher on the stop.
And one of the secrets to that is handling the nose tackle. You see a good job by Bishop standing up Tim Crumry, the nose tackle. That creates the little seam in the defense. That's exactly where the running back went.
Wilhite with 14 yards on 2 runs. We're in the 1st quarter. 8:48 to play in it. There's no score. Bengals drove down their opening possession and missed a field goal. Winder takes it back, maybe ahead for half a yard is all, to about the 31-yard line. Reggie Williams, an 11-year veteran from Dartmouth, made the play for Cincinnati. Broncos offense in the 2 games they've lost, losing 2 of their last 3 to San Diego and the Giants. Lost to the Giants last week. The Denver defense didn't give up a touchdown in either loss. 10th play of this drive now. Broncos moving the ball primarily on the run. No markers as Elway stands in and gets time and hits Vance Johnson, who had the ball, and he's down to the 25-yard line.
No catch.
Roll it off now. They wave it off.
That ball looked like it popped loose when he hit the ground. Elway's got plenty of time to throw here. Comes from the... There he is right there. 1, 2. I think that's a catch. We do have the replay official here. Dan Reeves is looking right at that play. Came right at him.
Rich Carlos, the barefoot kicker who played collegiately at the University of Cincinnati, is on the field now for Denver.
Now the umpire says, wait a minute, we're going to take another look. The rule in the NFL is if the second foot comes down and the receiver has clear possession of the football, that is a catch.
Jack Reeder from the NFL office, a longtime official, is reviewing the tapes right next to us here. I think you're right, Trump. That's going to go as a catch. He lost the ball when he hit the ground. Jerry Markbart, the referee.
Watch that second foot. One knee is just as good as the second foot. The ball comes out as he hits the ground. I think that goes as a catch.
The play stands. Incomplete. 4th down.
I don't understand. For the life of me, Dan Reeves and I agree. I don't understand. That's as clear, I thought, as you can possibly make it for a reception.
Now, in the snow and the cold, Rich Carlos ready to try a 49-yard field goal. He's actually kicking into a swirling wind.
Not enough. Oh,
got it.
Just over.
Rich Carlos, who's had some down moments here in Denver, delivers a 49-yard field goal. So the Bengals miss their field goal try. The Broncos hit.
This baby will blow the doors off anything on the road, just like a BMW.
Isn't she a beauty?
BMW would build one like this.
You think BMW has advanced technology? Listen to this.
Your door is open.
Huh?
For about $22,000, you can own a BMW 325. Or the hollow feeling of having settled for less.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Pitcher of light.
Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
I think this bunch deserves a treat this weekend.
Yeah! We'll need extra cash.
No problem.
The Discover Card. Smart move.
Get cash at thousands of automatic teller machines.
And more.
With Discover Card checks.
One click.
At largest Sears stores, coast to coast.
Get the most.
For cash 3 ways, this is the one.
Smart move. The Discover Card.
Great day.
Yeah, what are we doing tomorrow? The Discover Card.
NBC Sports World presents a gathering of the world's great figure skaters. Scott Hamilton, dance sensation Torville and Dean, Dorothy Hamill, and more. Relive the magic of the World Professional Figure Skating Championships on NBC Sports World.
Watch how close this ball is to making it. The guy that catches the ball is standing right behind the goalpost, Don, from 49 yards. Yes, sir, it's good. Rich Carlos, barefoot and all, gets the Broncos on the board first.
So the Broncos on their first possession go down the field, 11 plays and hit the big field goal, and now Carlos kicks off. Stanford Jennings awaiting the kickoff at the 4. Jennings breaks it as they bust the wedge, and he's out across the 40, and Matt Dundee gets to the 44-yard line. So the Bengals bring it right back on the kickoff return, a 41-yard return. The Steelers have taken the Bears to overtime at Chicago. The Rams have sent the slumping Jets down to their second straight defeat, and New England found a way to come from behind again in the closing moments. So the Jets and the Patriots are tied in the AFC East, both now at 10-3. Washington goes to 11-2. The Bills in Kansas City still fighting it out in the fourth quarter at Arrowhead. Bills with a 3-point lead. James Brooks, who does it all for Cincinnati, but not on that play. As the Denver defense sweeps in, Hundley led the charge, and cornerback Mike Harden was there also.
If the Bengals' idea today coming in to play the Broncos was to try to run against them, to this point it has not worked at all.
Well, as you know, Trump, the Bengals are the best rushing team in the American Conference, and the Broncos, despite having what's termed an undersized defense, are the best in the conference at stopping the run. So far, Denver's been winning that battle. Esiason with time, lets her go long. Eddie Brown takes it at the 34-yard line. He's in for a first down for Cincinnati. The fleet wide receiver who played in the national championship team with Bernie Kosar at Miami of Florida makes his 43rd reception of the season. Good for a 22-yard Cincinnati gain.
Big matchup today. Rulon Jones, 13.5 sacks coming in. Joe Walter, young man with the task of keeping Rulon Jones off Boomer Esiason. That time, Esiason got the ball off, but Rulon was right in his chest.
Rulon comes in with 13.5 sacks, #1 in the AFC through 12 games. Now the Bengals starting to mount a challenge. They trail Denver 3-0. Stanley Wilson, a quick back is the lone setback. Play fake to him. Esiason gets it to Holman, his tight end, and he's down to the 20-yard line for a 14-yard gain and another Bengal first down.
Tom Jackson, the man in coverage, Don, as you mentioned earlier, the oldest linebacker in the NFL, still plays like a pup. I don't know where he gets his energy, but TJ can still cover anybody out there that time. Nice little roll by Cincinnati, and just the foot speed of Rodney Holman was the cushion that Boomer Esiason needed for the completion.
14th season for Jackson. Loves to play the Raiders. Does he play them at Mile High or the Coliseum or in a parking lot? Like to play them every week. Most would not. 5:30 to go. First quarter. Snow and cold at Mile High. Broncos lead 3-0. Bengals are driving, and here's the very quick Stanley Wilson from Oklahoma, driving into the end zone for a touchdown.
What happened?
Stanley Wilson, a comeback story from drug rehabilitation. He has played some tremendous football for Cincinnati, and Wilson scores his 6th touchdown of this season, really taking the Bronco defenders with him into the end zone.
Well, they ran right at Rulon Jones, and he was through there so quickly it looked like somebody missed an assignment or slipped, but nobody did. Offensive right side of the Bengals, Joe Walter, Max Montoya, Remington up front, got the job done.
And so the Bengals get down the field, and with 5:19 to play, they take the lead 6-3. For that time, the #1 rushing offense in the American Conference breaks through the best at stopping the run. Jim Breach hits the point after, and it's a 7-3 game. The Bengals are in the lead, and they'll kick it off when we come back.
My new Olympus is the only autofocus SLR with a built-in flash, like this. In case I want to shoot, like this.
The new Olympus OM77AF, the only autofocus SLR that does it all.
This high-performance drink cleans your fuel system to help maintain peak performance. STP gas treatment, the high-performance drink for your car.
Driving on your old antifreeze another year can be risky. Weak, neglected antifreeze can cause freeze-up and make a radiator look this bad, while the Prestone radiator looks this good. So don't push your luck, change it once a year with fresh Prestone.
At Braun, we believe simple is better than complicated. Order is better than confusion. Quiet is better than loud. Only through superior design can one achieve superior performance. It is this philosophy that has helped make Braun the #1 selling foil shaver in the world. What's also helped is that no other shaver gives you a closer shave. Braun, now available in America.
There's only one way to appreciate Zenith's 27-inch stereo television with breathtaking sound by Bose. Go hear it. Zenith and Bose. Quality.
Searching here for predictions and there for analysis? Oh, the dilemma of choosing the right pregame show. We at NBC Sports suggest you give as much thought to choosing a pregame show as you did when saying, I do. Possibly more. NFL 86, the one you'll choose.
Don, now we can see what happened. Watch 98, Ricky Hundley, the middle linebacker. This is an even defense. You see James Brooks go in motion. We'll show you the replay in just a second after the kickoff.
Back to live. Here's the kickoff. Ken Bell, a rookie from Boston College, breaks it up the middle for Denver and gets the ball out to the 36-yard line. Carl Zander brought him down.
Back again to the touchdown. Watch 98. When Brooks goes in motion, Ricky Hundley stays there. You'll see a double and rub. Joe Walters comes out. Hundley stops. Stanley Wilson, a 20-yard touchdown run. That's the first rushing touchdown the Broncos defense has allowed in the last 5 games, Don.
We're getting into some high-tech football now. Double and rubs.
Oh, double and rub. That goes back to Vince Lombardi.
Double and rub worked it, and Stanley Wilson was in on the payoff end. It's now a 7-3 game Cincinnati. Broncos with the ball. 7 inches of snow earlier today. The field was covered and is in excellent condition. Pitch back to Wilhite. And he turns the corner. And Gerald Wilhite is all the way down inside the 45-yard line and down to the 44.
Fulcher finally makes the tackle after a 22-yard gain. Turnabout fair play. Almost the identical sweep. The Winder on the lead block. Nobody touches Wilhite. He gets to the corner. Joe Kelly, 58 of the Bengals, gets captured inside. Big pickup by the Broncos, who are running the ball well today. I'm sure that's exactly what Dan Reeves wanted.
Wilhite is a former #1 draft choice. He had some unproductive years. This season he scored 8 touchdowns, 5 running the ball and 3 receiving. He's gained 36 yards today on just 3 carries. Broncos trailing 7-3. Wilhite again. He can throw it. And he's looking to. Kay, the tight end, can't get to the ball at the 16-yard line. Clarence Kay was fined for forgetfulness. Some pretty big fines. He was forgetting to come to practice. In overtime, the Bears go to 11-2 as they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 13-10. Buffalo makes it final. Bills win their 4th game, beating Kansas City.
On the road, too.
No, that's right. They would have tied the record or broken the record for losses on the road. Marv Levy, the new Buffalo coach, going back to beat the team that fired him. Raiders out in front of Philadelphia, and Atlanta surprise leader over the Dolphins at Miami. Elway on 2nd and 10. A fastball. It's off the shoulder pads of Vance Johnson.
Well, that ate him up. That's one thing about John Elway. Throws the ball so incredibly hard that the receivers have to be ready. When it's cold, that ball is like a brick. But you can see Vance Johnson doesn't get his hands up in time. And when you try to catch that ball with a body, there is no cushion at the body. You get your hands out there in front of you, and your hands can carry the ball back to the body. You make the catch.
Elway's the best running quarterback in pro football also. He's averaging almost 5 yards a rush. Completing 56% of his passes this season. 13 touchdown throws. He's been intercepted 9 times, but he hasn't thrown a TD pass in almost a month. Does very well to get that ball away to Vance Johnson. They ruled it incomplete at the 42-yard line, and it brings up 4th down and 10. So the offense comes off for the Broncos.
That time the Bengals used Emmanuel King to drop off in coverage. Eddie Edwards and Lewis Billups, the cornerback, on the blitz. That's what you got to do nowadays in the NFL. If you don't have a Chicago-type defense, you got to trick them with blitzes.
They've had punting problems in the Mile High City. Mike Horan, a former Philadelphia Eagle out of Long Beach State, won a tryout contest. They had about 5 kickers in, and Horan is now the new place kicker, or the new punter, replacing Chris Norman. He's the 3rd punter this season. Jack Wheel started the season. Norman was cut in the summer. They brought him back. Now he's gone again. Horan shows good hands and gets the ball downfield, angled nicely. It'll go out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
Watch the official walk up the sideline now. He tries to sync up with Jerry Markwright where it goes out. About the 16.
Just 27 yards, but he does get it out of bounds inside the 20, and there the Bengals going offense again.
Keith Bishop is the punt snapper for the Broncos. Normally very, very good at this, but the snap is a little low. Horan does an excellent job of handling it. And here in Denver, sometimes you do have to be a shortstop. Probably part of the consideration why Reeves accepted him as the punter.
Now the Bengals set up as the Rocky Mountain Thunder, the foot stamping in applause. Very difficult to call signals. He'll take a lot of teams out of shotguns. Wilson, last time he had it, you'll remember he was in the end zone. This time he's knocked out of bounds for a substantial loss. Mark Haynes in the defensive secondary of the Broncos came over to make the play.
Looked like Tom Jackson was in there almost to take the handoff. 57 of the Broncos was in the backfield. Destroyed the timing of the play. Stanley Wilson basically had no place to go.
We could get a lot more snow as this game wears on. Highways outside of Denver, we're told, have been shut down. Here is the handoff straight up the middle on a 2nd down and 15 run. And the gain is out to the 15-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 11.
Again, Dennis Smith from that strong safety spot in to make the tackle. Almost plays like a linebacker. One of the toughest hitters I've ever seen in the game, along the lines of Billy Thompson. Used to play strong safety here for Denver. Joe Collier, defensive coordinator.
3rd down for the Bengals. The big left-hander needs 11 on this throw coming up. James Brooks will be a lone setback. 4 wideouts in the game. Big rush. And Esiason's got room to run. Mark Haynes has a play on him, but too late, and it looks like he's got the 1st down.
Very close. Very
yeah,
close.
It could be. Now it looks like they're spotting it short now. An 11-yard run. Looks like he's just short, or is now might have it. We'll have to wait for the measurement.
Don, you understand, though, that on game day they have markers on both sides of the field, but the near side marker is official. The far side marker is just so that the fans can see where the 1st down marker is. You can see where that orange stripe is. That's the 1st down marker, but that's unofficial. They'll measure.
More importantly, so the players can see where the 1st down is.
True. Very true.
Game clock shows 3:13 to play. The Bengals lead 7-3 on a 20-yard touchdown run, and the spot is short. Stanley Wilson scored the touchdown for Cincinnati after the Broncos had taken a 3-0 lead.
See where his left foot is? Obviously out of bounds there. Ends up being a 4th down. Jeff Hayes in the punt.
So Jeff Hayes, the Cincinnati kicking game, has not been stalwart. Jeff Hayes with the lowest average and lowest net of any NFL punter this year, but he did run a fake punt in 61 yards against the Steelers to win a football game. Hayes standing back at his 10. Wilhite back at his 30 for Denver. Not a deep kick, but Wilhite lets it bounce. It takes a Cincinnati roll. And there's a penalty marker down also at the line of scrimmage. 44-yard punt with the roll, and the clock stopped at 3:01 with the penalty and change of possession.
Illegal man downfield for Cincinnati. I'm sure Denver will make him punt it again. I'd be surprised if the Broncos take it here at the 30-yard line. Dan Reeves saying, make them kick it again. Make those guys run 40 yards again.
Bengals with an excellent record, 8-4. But they've had problems in one area. They're the only team in the NFL that's a winning team.
Number 58, offense, 4th down.
It's been outscored by the opposition. The Broncos, with their strong defense, hoping to keep Cincinnati down. Anytime the Broncos have scored 20 or more points, they've won, and the Bengals have been outscored by their opposition this season. A very important meeting between the Bengals and the Browns coming up in Cincinnati, December 14th. In head-to-head play between the Bengals and the Browns, Cincinnati's up 1-0. They won at Cleveland. High kick, but Wilhite will bring it back. So they do indeed get more yardage if they make the Bengals punt again. The ball is out to the 48-yard line now of Denver. 37-yard punt, a 5-yard return.
It's almost an 18-yard gain by Denver. There's Denver's situation. The Raiders breathing down their neck. This is a must-win situation. And when it comes down to the tie-breaking procedure, Denver already has 2 wins against the Raiders.
And Denver has much more difficult scheduling the rest of the way. Denver goes to Kansas City next Sunday, then plays Washington here, plays at Seattle to close it out. A long ball, Elway going, and the ball is taken in by Mark Jackson, and they rule it a catch at the 19-yard line.
Great catch.
Mark Jackson, who is averaging 21 yards a catch, pulls down 133 yards in length, and it's a first down as the Broncos challenge.
And one thing John Elway is accused of is not having a touch when he throws the ball. This is perfect. He puts the ball just enough to get it over Lewis Frieden, 34, into the hand of Jackson. 33-yard reception. That's an outstanding pass and catch.
26th catch of the year for the rookie from Purdue. Not big, 5'9", but very fleet. As you saw there, he had 2 steps on the defender, and now the Broncos trailing 7-3 challenge. First quarter.
Green.
Wilhite. Down to the 15, maybe the 14-yard line. Got close to 5. Crumry and Fulcher were on the stop for Cincinnati.
What Denver does so very well offensively is spread out the defense. They had Mobley way out wide. Wilhite, you can see, sells the screen. Looked like he's pass blocking. And Crumry, the nose tackle, and Fulcher assist each other on the tackle. But it's a nice pickup. Best screening team in the NFL, Denver Broncos.
Sam White, the Bengal coach, was worried about that. They were expecting, what, 11 or 12 screens to be thrown, looking at the tendencies from computer printouts in past games. Now they go to the run, and Wilhite, behind the lead blocker, takes it down to the 10-yard line. On a 2nd and 5 play, he got 4. It'll be 3rd and short.
He's down, too. Looks hurt. It'd be a big loss for Denver. He's accounted for over 1,000 yards with his receiving, rushing, punt returning.
So while Gerald Wilhite of the Broncos is attended to, a look at the scoreboard with 1:50 to play here in Denver, and the Bengals leading 7-3. Atlanta continues to lead the favored Dolphins 10-0 at the Orange Bowl now in the 2nd quarter. The Eagles have come back to tie the Raiders in the 1st quarter at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Raiders scheduling their way the rest of the way. They have a tough one at Seattle next following the Eagles, but then they're at home to play Kansas City and Indianapolis.
Bengals no slouch of a season either. Denver, a division leader. They play New England, the only second-place team in the AFC for the remainder of the season. They play Cleveland, who also shares in the lead in the AFC Central, and the New York Jets. Wilhite looks fine.
But he's had a lot of yards today, Trump. He's rushed for 40 yards. He has caught 2 passes for 13 more and has a punt return for 5. 58 yards. Offense and return yardage for Gerald Wilhite, who leads the Broncos, you're pointing out, with over 1,000 for the year. Broncos down 7-3. 1:35 to play first quarter. Elway's not thrown for a touchdown in almost a month since the November 2nd game against the Raiders at Los Angeles. Going to the run to Gene Lang, and Crumry knocked it down. The nose tackle is the best defensive lineman this season for Cincinnati. They're making those hits count. These guys are slow getting up.
Now it's just a matter of the spot. Jerry Markwright again brings in the chain. Looks ever so slightly short. Elway is signaling about a foot short.
You joined us late. Both teams have moved the ball in this game. Bengals got the opening kickoff, went down, but missed a field goal. Denver on its first possession got down, in a long field goal. A 49-yarder by Carlos was good. A 3-0 Bronco lead. Then a big kickoff return by Stanford Jennings, and shortly thereafter his teammate was in the end zone for a touchdown run from 20 yards out. Stanley Wilson on the payoff end. And now the Broncos go first and goal from the 9-yard line. No, they're short, excuse me. It's going to be 4th down and inches at the 9-yard line. So they go to a power formation with 3 tight ends in the game, and I set in the backfield.
They're trying to draw him off.
And he got it that time.
He got it.
Now, while we have a moment, let's go to NFL 86 and Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Don, in Cleveland, Mark Mosley, who was just signed this week with the Browns, wins it for Cleveland with this 30-yard field goal with 22 seconds left to go in overtime. Final score, Cleveland 13, Houston 10.
Thank you, Ahmad. So the Browns put the pressure back on Cincinnati, as now Winder takes it at the Bengal defense, and he's down to the 5-yard line. On a first and goal run from the 8, he got 3. Crumry again made the stop, primary hitter for the Bengals. Browns go to 9-4. Bengals with very tough scheduling at New England, then home to play Cincinnati and close out at home against the Jets. Wilhite, we're told, has a bruised right knee, but he is expected to return to the game. New England's unbelievable. The next opponent for the Bengals at winning tight games at the end. They won today by a point at New Orleans. Tie the Jets for first place in the AFC East. We'll be back to Denver after this.
Final score. The Achievers, those who faced adversity and refused to fail, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Despite his famous football name, Bears center Jay Hilgenberg was ignored in the NFL draft. He almost quit the game.
It's a little different when you come as a free agent because you see the top draft choices, how things are almost given to them, and you got to go out and work every day and fight for everything that you get. And I think the most important thing is to always trust in your ability and never let anybody take your confidence away.
Hey, could I tap some of your computer expertise, son?
So you finally gave in?
Yeah, for starters, how does the disk fit into the disk drive?
Okay, the Army can train you to program, operate, or fix computers.
What does the printer interface do?
It lets the computer talk to the printer.
They talk to each other. What do they say?
Then there's a telephone modem hookup. And the computer training you get is yours forever.
Like you're not going to be the only computer expert in the valley.
Don Craigie with Bob Trumpy at Mile High Stadium in Denver. A lot of offense in this game so far, Trump.
Yeah, I think Dan Reeves is very happy with the way his team is running the football, too. When they've needed to come up with a big down, they've gotten it running. The Bengals on the other side of the coin, throwing the ball particularly well. And I don't think at any point in this football game the field will be a factor. To Steve Whiteman's credit, his ground crew has got the game here. It's like 63 and sunny.
They started out this morning. It looked like they wouldn't get a football game in. Big buildup of snow. As we pointed out, highways around Denver have been closed already. But now the snow has stopped. It's not that cold. Temperature in the 30s. As you look at the first quarter numbers, well over 200 yards combined offense. Both teams moving the ball in this game. It is a 7-3 game Cincinnati. But the Broncos are driving now the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Don, of the 31 yards rushing the Bengals have, 20 came on one run, Stanley Wilson's touchdown. So the Broncos have done an excellent job of shutting down the run for the most part.
Denver with a spread formation. Elway pumps it, throws it, touchdown Broncos. Coming out to the near flank and moving with the ball is Vance Johnson, and Mark Jackson right with him. He took a defender with him, did Jackson, and Vance Johnson was open for the strike by Elway. His first touchdown pass since November 2nd.
You can see it's Johnson that comes in motion. When he builds up that foot speed, the defender can't stay with him. Louis Breeden, 34, the closest man. Jackson does a good job getting the other defender deep. An easy 6 points.
So now with the Broncos taking the lead for a second time, Carlos hits the point after to make it a 10-7 game. But there's a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage.
The time, right now. The place, your Mazda dealers. The event, Goodbye 86. We're saying goodbye with goodbyes on all our 87s, 323s, 626s, even our X7s. And right now, special factory cash incentives can save you hundreds on 87 B2000 trucks. Buy now while sales tax is still deductible. But hurry, the end is almost here. So visit your Mazda dealer for a goodbye now. Don't let time run out.
You know what Santa Claus and a quarterback have in common? We're only successful if our receivers are happy. So I take care of the hands, take care of me, with isotoner gloves. From the hefty running backs to the tall ends, isotoners fit them all. These guys, they love to get isotoners. It's the only time they receive something without getting knocked down. So this season, take care of the hands that take care of you with isotoner gloves.
Give me a light.
That's not correct, Steve. Don't just ask for a light beer.
Come on, give me a light.
You asked for it, Steve.
Bud Light!
Yes, Steve. Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste.
Don't just ask for a light.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light, Steve.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. The more you look, the more you like Mazda value. By New York Life, to help you get the most out of life. And by the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be.
Prior to that touchdown throw by John Elway, here was his last previous one at the Coliseum in Los Angeles against the Raiders on November 2nd.
Been a long time. Taking a lot of heat here in Denver. And he'd only thrown 8 interceptions in the same period of time, but he's going to get it in the end zone somehow.
That one against the Raiders to Sammy Winder, the last to Vance Johnson, his second touchdown reception of this season. Now Tim McGee downs the ball. #1 draft choice this past spring of the Cincinnati Bengals from tennis. Look at this little guy come out. Gets the tee.
Probably the thrill of his life. Hopes to someday return in a real Bronco uniform. That's
Outstanding work.
That's a long run for a little kid like that.
So on the touchback, the ball comes out to the 20-yard line, and the Bengals will go on offense there. They trailed 3-0, led 7-3. Now they trail 10-7 with 14:50 to play in the first half. Good throw by Azias into a short-handed receiver, Chris Collinsworth. Catches his 48th pass of the year. The veteran from Florida. Call him the thoroughbred at Florida because he was so fast. He got to Cincinnati, and someone at Latonia Downs wanted him to race a thoroughbred real one. It's a 50-yard race. Collinsworth said he lost by 47 yards. Wasn't even in the picture at the finish.
Yeah, then I think he bought the horse, too.
He does own some thoroughbreds, doesn't he?
Yes. A long time without a touchdown pass.
Ziason can get it downfield in a hurry. He's got the long arm to it. Here is Stanley Wilson. They key on him after earlier in this game, you'll remember, Stanley Wilson broke one up the middle for 20 yards and a touchdown.
Tell you, Broncos, this is a movement defense. Watch Hundley from the inside. He reads the sweep immediately, trying to get out there. Excellent block by James Brooks, but he's still there to assist on the tackle along with Tony Lilly. This is a great pursuit defense. That's the entire design by Joe Collier, and they get it done.
A surprise at the Coliseum in Los Angeles with the Eagles down 7-0 to the Raiders have now rallied for 13 points to take a 6-point lead. That'll be well received. That news here in Denver. Broncos with just a one-game lead now over the Raiders. A throw and a catch goes to Rodney Holman, and the big tight end is across the 40. He has a first down.
Very difficult pass for a left-handed quarterback to throw. Rolls right, then sets up, throws it back left. It ends up being an 11-yard pickup. There's a lot for Boomer Esiason to do here. Holman kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Another bag of tricks play by Sam Weich. It works.
Esiason has passed for 115 yards so far in the game. It is 10-7. The favored Broncos are in the lead. Again, Esiason waits on the rush, then dumps it off, this time to Wilson. And Stanley Wilson, a power back with great speed. He's 5'10", 215 pounds, a former Oklahoma Sooner. Gets ahead for a gain of about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Wilson looks like he may have gotten kicked in the face, a gash of some sort. And Larry Kennebrew comes in the ball game. This is the way they...
That's ominous. The division of doom. Dan Reeves had great success against the AFC Central. Under Reeves, the Broncos are 10-1 against opponents in that division.
Watch Kennebrew. He's had a penchant for fumbling, Don.
Biggest fullback in the game. Here's a free ball. Esiason falls on it, and it'll be 3rd down and 2. Bengals fortunate there to beat the Bronco defenders to the ball.
Esiason against... Kennebrew against Seattle 3 times fumbled the football, but this was on Esiason. Able to maintain possession. Very lucky.
The Broncos are tough to beat in this stadium. Right now, the Bengals are trailing Denver 10-7. Broncos have won 24 of their last 28 games at Mile High. The last time they played here, they beat Kansas City. Prior to that, though, they were beaten 9-3 in a major upset by San Diego.
They got to hurry.
Wilson breaks it, and he almost goes the distance. He might. He's a load. Stanley Wilson gets it inside the 25-yard line. 28-yard run by Stanley Wilson.
This is the best rushing offense in the AFC. And for the most part, Denver's done a great job of shutting them down. But they have allowed in short yardage situation now 2 big plays. See Wilson, a missed tackle there by Rick Hundley. And he runs by 22 Tony Lilly. Ends up being a 28-yard pickup by the Bengals.
An excellent block front by Brian Blados. Hit his primary man and then screened Ricky Hundley off the play. And that really sprung Wilson around the corner. Stanley Wilson with 46 yards and 5 carries. 1 for 20 yards, and the Bengals only score. It's a 10-7 game, Denver. James Brooks goes right up the middle and takes it inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line. So this top defense in the conference against the run is getting busted wide open by the huge offensive front of Cincinnati.
18-yard pickup. He's the 2nd leading rusher in the AFC behind Kurt Warner. And I think Colorado went in to play the nose tackle there. This is just a straight-ahead play. Good lead block by 28 Kennebrew. Dennis Smith misses James Brooks. 49, very unusual. Dennis Smith, one of the most sure-handed tacklers you'll find in the game. That's a run of 28, a run of 18 on 2 successive plays.
Esiason goes to Kennebrew in the big back. Head down, takes it in on the payoff end. Larry Kennebrew, and the Bengals have the lead for a second time. 9:20 to play in the first half. And Larry Kennebrew, who weighs somewhere between 265 and 280 pounds. Tell you, every meal for him, it's like he's going to the chair. He gets it all.
You can see Louis Wright saying, uh-oh, what have I got myself into here? Kennebrew is about 9 rooms deep in Sam White's doghouse. He just moved up to room 8.
It's amazing how quickly he can gain weight.
Just looking at ads in the newspaper, he gains weight.
Now the point after attempt by Jim Breach is on the way and through the middle, and so at 9:20 to play in the first half, the Cincinnati Bengals take the lead for a second time. It's a 14-10 game.
The house is paid up. Kids are out of college. Things are fantastic.
So what's the problem?
Things are not so fantastic. After 30 years, I realized a financial genius I'm not. We need some advice.
You put a lot into life. You deserve to get the most out of it. We can help.
I'm Linda Ross. I represent New York Life.
At New York Life, we have the resources to make the most of your resources. We offer a range of financial opportunities, including mutual funds, annuities, whole life plans, and limited partnerships.
Sure I will. Thank you.
Don't settle for less than you deserve. Get the most out of life with New York Life.
The time, right now. The event, Goodbye 86. The offer, Mazda's SE5 plus 5. It's the $69.95 SE5 plus $650 worth of extras at no extra charge from Mazda. You get a bed liner, mud guards, sliding rear windows, floor mats, even an AM/FM stereo. A $650 value at no extra charge. So see your Mazda dealer for an SE5 plus 5 now. But hurry, the end is almost here. Don't let time run out.
Monday, the Emmy-winning movie of the year, an all-star cast and a special holiday presentation. Love is Never Silent. Monday.
Cincinnati Bengals with high-power offense just went 80 yards in 8 plays. Larry Kennebrew in for the touchdown. And now the Bengals lead for a second time, 14-10 with 9:20 to play in the first half. A wild game at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. 2 punt returns for touchdowns in that game between the Raiders and the Eagles, where the Eagles lead Los Angeles 13-7. Ken Bell will not bring it out, and the Broncos will start first and 10 at their 20. Denver under the gun from the Los Angeles Raiders. A game of momentum. The Jets, with a 10-1 record, and now beaten badly their last 2 games, scoring just field goals in a rout loss at Miami, a 45-3 loss, and only a field goal today as the Jets were beaten 17-3 by the LA Rams in the Meadowlands of New Jersey. And with another close win for New England, there's a tie in the AFC East at the top.
Looks like another screen here, Don.
Winder, his wisdom, both hands on the ball. Taking it right at the Cincinnati defenders. Crumry again was on the stop.
Don, once again, Orson Mobley lined up way out wide. Last time they ran that formation, that's when they ran the screen. You can see they do an excellent job of rolling out number 70, Scow. Running back right up through there for about a 5-yard gain.
John Elway does not have happy numbers, as you know, Crump, of the Cincinnati Bengals. Last time he played against him, he went out with a shoulder injury, and Ross Browner got him. Now it's 2nd down and 5. Elway with a nice throw to Watson downfield out to the 37-yard line. It's a first down, Denver. Watson, who hasn't caught a lot of balls, only 3 receptions in his last 4 games leading up to this one, makes a first down catch of 12 yards.
He runs an excellent pattern here. The ball is thrown before Watson turns around. Lewis Breeden in coverage 34. Elway's got a man firing right at him on the blitz. stands right in there and makes the completion for a first down. That's just beautiful. When it works like that, where the coaches draw it up, it's almost unstoppable.
Elway's coming off a tremendous game against the Giants, albeit a losing effort for Denver, when he recorded career highs in completions and rushing yards. He led Denver in rushing last week at 51. Now working hard upfield on a first down carry out to the 41-yard line is Sammy Winder. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 5, 2nd and 6.
Outside linebacker Reggie Williams responsible for pursuit. Once he sees where the play goes, laterally across the line of scrimmage, there to assist on the tackle on Sammy Winder, a pickup of about 3, 2nd and 7.
The snow, which was very heavy earlier today, has lessened now. In fact, it stopped altogether. Playing field in excellent condition. Too much on it for Orson Mobley. In that Philadelphia Raider game, Garrity ran back a punt for the Eagles. Fulton Walker ran one back 70 yards for the Raiders. And Philadelphia is holding to a 13-7 lead over the heavily favored Raiders, and an equally big upset in the offing, perhaps at the Orange Bowl, where Atlanta continues to lead Miami 10-0. The lead's been changing hands here in Denver, where now the Bengals hold a 14-10 lead over the Broncos.
Replay.
Crumry left early. 3rd and 6, no gain but a marker down.
That's going to be on the defense, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1. They'll take the penalty for sure.
Offside, number 70, defense.
Jim Scow, pass rusher for the Bengals. He's lined up closest to the football. All he's got to do is watch it. Look, he's staring right at it. And he jumps. So as opposed to 4th down and Denver has to punt, the drive stays alive, and Denver's done an excellent job of 3rd down conversion so far in this first half.
Right now they have a 3rd and 2 coming up.
They're 2 of 5 in 3rd down conversions.
Wilhite breaks it. 1st down and more. He's to the 46-yard line of the Bengals. Gerald Wilhite, a quick 5'10", 200-pound runner, breaks it. 3rd and short, and the Broncos get 4 new down.
Excellent lead block by Winder. He gets into Louis Breeden, and there's the alley. Wilhite with good speed, now obviously recovered from that bruised knee. Big first down pickup. Drive stays alive for Denver, so that offsides, that encroachment by Scow, keeps this drive alive.
Elway to Wilhite on 1st down and 10, a short gain, but it is a gain under pressure as he advances the ball with the reception. Gerald Wilhite's to the 43-yard line of Cincinnati. Carl Zander was on the stop, and Tim Crumry was on the rush.
They are getting some pressure on Elway, but he doesn't seem to mind it. Look, his uniform is clean. Crumry there late. No penalty called. This Denver offense spreads it around. They have 7 receivers with 20 or more catches coming into this ball game.
Now into the 13th game, Trump. The Broncos have only allowed 22 sacks so far of John Elway. A timeout on the field. We'll be back to Denver after this.
This Bud's for all that you do.
Today, a landscaper. Tomorrow, a college student. Yep. Finally took your advice, Mike.
You taught him.
Already you're smart.
Oh, you knew. They say he's a lot like you. Yeah, you make America work, and this Bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
To a future architect. And to a brother who made it possible.
This Bud's for you.
Heart surgery. To perform it, doctors need vital information. At an IBM scientific center in England, computer researchers and doctors are transforming X-rays into 3-dimensional models of a patient's arteries and beating heart. This experimental project is an example of innovation at IBM. And it could be another way computers help doctors save lives.
The time, right now. The place, your Mazda dealers. The event, Goodbye 86. We're saying goodbye with good buys on all our 87s, 323s, 626s, even our X7s. And right now, special factory cash incentives can save you hundreds on 87 B2000 trucks. Buy now while sales tax is still deductible. But hurry, the end is almost here. So visit your Mazda dealer for a good buy now. Don't let time run out.
Next Sunday, the NFL plays here when the Jets battle the 49ers.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL 86.
Back at Mile High Stadium, the Cincinnati Bengals lead the Denver Broncos 14-10. And the Bengal offense, Bob Trumpy's been doing a good job breaking some big plays against a very good defense.
Yeah, but Don, I'll tell you, big games against big opponents come down to little plays. And that offsides by Jim Scow extended his drive now for Denver. Denver now has an opportunity to really take advantage of the mistake by the Bengals. And when you play great teams, division leaders, you can't make those mistakes.
Now the Broncos go to the shotgun. 2nd down and 7, ball position, 43-yard line. The blitz is picked up. They got Fulcher, the strong safety, who was coming. And Mark Jackson makes another terrific play for the Broncos. The rookie pass catcher plants both feet, takes the ball in, 16 yards and a first down for the Broncos.
And the secret is he catches it with his hands. Now the Bengals come with a blitz. They're taking a chance. Elway has a second to set up, and that's all he needs. You see the hands catch? Ray Horton, number 20, the closest man in coverage. Again, perfect timing on the pass. Ball thrown before the receiver looks. The defender can't stop it.
Temperature in the mid-30s. As Elway with that lightning throw, this time dumps it off, goes to Sammy Winder, putting on moves and pays the price as the linebacker pulls up from the zone to make strike on him. Carl Zander and Joe Kelly, the inside backers, both got him. There's a gain on the play of about 7 yards as the Broncos now mounting a challenge to perhaps take the lead back.
And I never thought these two teams would have a seesaw battle. One take the lead, the other one take the lead. Back and forth now, 14-10, 24 points scored. Obviously, the weather's not bothering them. They're in the game now, probably very comfortable out there, temperature-wise.
Watson, who has been a great deep receiver for Elway, but not much in recent games, is on the near flank. Lower portion of your screen. Winder on a draw. The Bengals wait for it on 2nd down and about 4. They make the stop short of the first down. Fulcher, a huge, strong safety, a 230-pound stop the run.
Again, we'll feature Bryant and Bishop, 64 and 54, dealing with Crumry. He gets double-teamed all day long, Crumry does. Bishop, one of the outstanding guards in the NFL, gets very little attention. Crumry, same is true as a nose tackle.
Broncos come in 9-3, but they're still smarting from an 11-5 finish a season ago when they failed to make the playoffs. 10th play of this drive coming up. 3rd down and a long 2.
Jackson.
Elway going for it all. Has a man. It's caught for a touchdown. And again, Mark Jackson comes down with the ball this time for his first touchdown reception in the NFL.
We spoke earlier about both Elway and Esiason being creators as quarterbacks, and that time Elway created a touchdown.
Now Carlos barefoot the after, and for a 3rd time in this back and forth game, the Denver Broncos take the lead. They're up 17-14.
And the thing you got to love about these kids, both Elway and Esiason, is they make something big out of something bad. Now the intended receiver here, once again, Vance Johnson going in motion. But Elway, when he rolls out, has the presence of mind and the strength of arm to sling it across his body. Robert Jackson, 37, in front, but an absolutely acrobatic catch by Jackson, his first NFL touchdown. The position of quarterback has changed so much. It used to be quarterbacks would go back and They do what the coaches told them, and they take the logical progression of receivers and find the open man. Now with that class of '83, these guys are artists. They don't let defenses shut you down. They go out and get it, take it from you. And that was a prime example there by Elway.
So Mark Jackson, a 6th-round draft choice from Purdue, playing to the crowd. He likes all this. He's been here before in that end zone. It's not Mile High, but he has been at Ross-Ade Stadium, home of the Boilermakers, with Jim Everett on the throwing end. Another sustained drive. We've had both teams pull a nose off today, an 80-yard drive in 10 plays, and now it's a 17-14 game, Denver. Rich Carlos hits the ball hard downfield. McGee loses it. He's got it. That's a muff. He can down the ball.
That's right. That's a touchback. Very smart by McGee.
Impetus of the ball carried into the end zone on a kick. Mark Mosley was the man that decided the Cleveland game. In Chicago, it was Kevin Butler who beat the Steelers in overtime with a field goal. Rams maintain their lead in the NFC West with a victory over the Jets on the Jets' home field. New England goes to 10-3 to tie the Jets for the AFC Eastern lead with a win at New Orleans. Redskins 11-2 now after a close game at St. Louis. Ziason out-patterned to Holman, his tight end. And they'll rule him out of bounds at the 26-yard line. 2nd down and 4 coming up. Colts go to 0-13. 3 games away from Vinny Testaverde.
You might as well go there and get an apartment now. Look at it. This is the thing that surprised me today for the Bengals. Those big plays are allowed by the Denver Bronco defense, very much out of character for the Bronco defense.
Ziason on 2nd and 4. Beautiful throw to Brooks, who loses the ball turning. James Brooks, an all-purpose back from Auburn, who's been a spectacular player for Cincinnati. He comes in with almost 800 yards rushing with 37 receptions. James Brooks, number 21, has scored 8 touchdowns this season.
On each time one team has scored, the other team has come back with the answering drive. Pressure now on the Bengals. Last time they had the ball, 8 plays, 80 yards, and a score. Consumed 5 minutes and 37 seconds.
Ziason, 9-12 with a drop. Kreider goes in motion. Looking at Kreider. Tip ball, and the Broncos will get it back as Cincinnati has to punt. Randy Robbins, an extra defensive back, made the play to stop this Bengal drive, and now the Broncos send their kick return team in with 3:24 to play in the half.
And that was close to an interception. He had to go through the motion, stayed with Kreider, cut in front of him, almost made the pickoff. Bengals very lucky there.
A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser most valuable player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. And Jeff Hayes ready to punt it downfield to Gerald Wilhite. He's troubled. Well hit ball. Wilhite fair catches it. It's his 32. There the Broncos go on offense again. Denver holding to a 17-14 lead. 43-yard punt. Halftime, we'll be going to NFL 86, where Bob Costas, Ahmad Rashad, and Paul McGuire are standing by. Right now, the L.A. Raiders are still being upset, at least in the second quarter, by the Philadelphia Eagles, 13-7 at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. In this game, the lead's gone back and forth. Broncos led 3-0. Cincinnati led 7-3. Broncos came back to take a 10-7 lead. Then it was Cincinnati 14-10. And now the Broncos with the ball and a 17-14 lead. Out pattern to Winder, and Sammy Winder's going to be very close to a first down. Lewis Breeden, covering on that side, made the play, but 9 yards downfield. John Elway has quarterbacked Denver to 34 wins in the last 46 games he started. Has been the winningest starting quarterback in the NFL over the past 3 seasons, John Elway. Again, they give him time, and there's that rocket arm. But the coverage is right with Jackson as Mark Jackson ran the fly pattern and incomplete at the 5-yard line. Offensive line of the Broncos doing a good job picking up the stunting pass rush. The Bengal rushers, they're coming hard, changing direction as they come. But the Broncos have not been fooled.
Well, that was close. Jackson with tremendous foot speed almost outran the coverage by Robert Jackson's 37, Lewis Breeden 34. If you're a Bronco fan, Denver is 9-0 when they score 20 points or more, have been in the 1986 season. They are tremendous, and with 17 points on the board, looks pretty good for them, wouldn't you say?
This game looks like it might have a lot more scoring, though. Both teams have moved the ball well. Winders the deep back in the I set on this 3rd and 1 play. Winders. Paid the price. I don't know if he got there. He did. He got there by the nose of the football as the game clock is down to 2:56 to play in the first half. Ross Browner shot the gap and made the stop.
It all comes down to the spot of the football. Looked like Ross Browner, 79, made the first contact, and 56 Simpkins in there. And Jerry Markwright says 4th down. So Horan into punt.
So the replay shows how they stopped it. Our producer today for NBC Sports is George Finkel. Our director, Richard Klein. We're down to 2:50 and running. The Broncos ready to punt the ball. They're holding to a 17-14 lead. In the local papers, Denver came in as an 8-point favorite. Ray Horton is back deep now. Horan, the new punter for the Broncos, put his first punt as a Bronco out of bounds at the 16-yard line. It's a high one downfield. They won't return that. Free ball. Broncos have it at the 17-yard line of Cincinnati. Simon Fletcher, a rookie from Houston, a defensive end who's one of the fastest players on the Denver team. Down to recover it as Horton just let it tear him off his chest.
Horan kicked that ball into the wind. And I think it surprised Ray Horton. He had to back up on it. That's the worst thing a punt returner can do. The first turnover of the day for the Denver Broncos.
Broncos going with double tight ends. One wide receiver, Watson. Will Hunt takes it at the Bengals. He's down to the 11-yard line of Cincinnati. As you see the game clock wind down to the 2-minute warning.
Now's the time for Denver to take advantage of that defense. They just came off the field. And it, oh no, from the sideline walk out there. Broncos got a chance to put that 20th point on the board.
So the Broncos challenge for another score, and we'll be back after this.
Introducing Wendy's new Big Classic hamburger. The soft Kaiser bun, the fat tomatoes, the fresh toppings, the beef. Wendy's new Big Classic.
A Ranger never takes the easy way out.
You're reaching deep inside you for things you've never known.
Go! That's why getting into the Rangers is tough, and the training is tough. So it makes me feel like I'm part of something really special. And I'm not the only one.
A simple country boy has simple needs. A house, a car, and the most advanced high-performance tires on the road.
Take me where this heart began. Love to ride the same good land that my daddy loved.
The Goodyear Eagle VR was developed out of a Formula One racing tire design, and that's important, even if you're just going next door.
Goodyear, take me home.
It's time to change your light bulb. Philips Longer Life Square bulbs last 33% longer than ordinary round bulbs.
This has been the history of the Broncos, Don. Have the defense turn the ball over for you and give the offense a short field to score. Historically, under Joe Collier and all the rest of the head coaches that the Broncos have had, that's the way they like to play football. You can see the mistakes they've made.
John Elway has come out of his touchdown pass slump today. Had not thrown one since November 2nd, almost a month. He has 2 TD throws today, and he could be going for a third right now. It is 2nd down and 4. To the run instead to Will Height over the top, and he takes it down close to the 7-yard line where he had to go. As the game clock winds down, as you see, to 150 in running. Zander, a big linebacker from Tennessee, filled and made the hit. The Broncos getting very good thrust off the snap of the ball from their offensive front.
They haven't converted it yet. They're still 3rd down and what appears to be inches, and Elway wants a timeout. He wants points here at the end of the half, and I don't blame him. Very important.
We've had 1 turnover, and that's given Denver the ball down close right now. Back after this. John Elway coming over for some sideline counsel with Dan Reeves, the winningest coach in Denver Bronco history now in his 6th season. He's been to the big game 5 times to the Super Bowl as a player or coach. Of course, was with the Cowboys for 16 years as a player and later a coach.
Broncos last week shortened their offensive game plan. It pleased John Elway to no end. They performed offensively an awful lot better. Elway had season high 336 yards passing, was 29 of 47. Those are both career high numbers. The choice now for Dan Reeves, do you make sure you get the first down and then you're going to be 1st and goal? You got 2 timeouts left. I go for the first down here.
They've been packing Mile High for 17 straight seasons now. It seats 76,332, and there's about 60,000 people on the waiting list. They like the Broncos. Right now, the Broncos are threatening to extend their lead. They're up by 3, 17-14. 3rd down and less than a yard. Elway looking to the end zone. Fastball